Hi everyone, comic book reviewer here. This time doing a review on X-Men Evolution. Now, I remember as a kid watching X-Men Evolution and found it a pretty great series. Now, after the 90s X-Men cartoon ended, Marvel decided to do a new X-Men series. And in this one, pretty much had a more sort of teenage-based cast dealing with teenage problems, like, school, homework, dangerous, mutants and such. Now, also in the series is that most of the X-Men are teenagers in this, while Wolverine is mostly an adult, same for Beast and Angel. Now, each of the X-Men characters have different traits. Cyclops is the leader, Scott is the comedy relief, Kurt is the comedy relief, Jean Grey is the voice of reason, Rogue is the goth girl in this, Kitty Pryde is the youth and stuff, Evan is the hard to get along with character, all known as Spike, and so on, so on. Now, what's also interesting about the series is that we also get the New Mutants, who are differently portrayed as being the new rookie X-Men members. Now, other characters like Karma and Cypler never appeared in the series. So we did had Jubilee and Iceman filling in some of the spots, even Boom Boom. Now, other fun now is that the Brotherhood of Mutants were also as well portrayed as teenagers, with the exception of Toad and Avalanche being made American instead of them being British and Greek. Now, the other Brotherhood members were made by Mystique as a way to counter the X-Men and such. Now, also with the X-Men series as well, also had Scott and some of the other X-Men going to an actual school. At the same time, learning to, not use their powers in school, and at the same time facing newer dangers and such. Now, also what's interesting about the X-Men series as well is also how characters like Robert Kelly, also like Bolivar Trask, Nick Fury do appear as mainly sometimes appearing in the show or usually showing up to be there. Well, Nick Fury does appear as a helping hand to the X-Men, confirming that he's there to help the X-Men. Robert Kelly, it starts off as the new school principal after Mystique posed as the school principal to try and find out about the X-Men. Here he eventually builds up his politician role and such, while Bolivar Trask was a former S.H.I.E.L.D. agent and created a more heavenly armored version of the Sentinels. Now, what's also interesting about some of the X-Men characters like Forge, Leak, hell, or even Danny Moonstar, even appear as side characters or usually helping them in a few episodes. Magneto in the series is mainly kind of an ally, kind of a villain, much like in the 90s X-Men cartoon. Here is that he still has his children, Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver, with Wanda being put into asylum due to her uncontrollable powers, and Quicksilver being the somewhat loyal son in it. Now, what's also interesting that Magneto also has the Acolytes, which are kind of like his royal guards, which consist of Pyro, Sabretooth, Gambit, and Colossus. And also we eventually do get Mesmero, who eventually frees Apocalypse, which builds up this whole Apocalypse saga, where Apocalypse is kind of like the ultimate entity in this. Now, also what's interesting about the series was that there was originally planned to be a Season 5, which would have had the Phoenix Force saga. They kind of gave it hints due to Jean making the shield and making it into the Phoenix Force, and Scott hugging Jean, but looking at her in a strange way, knowing of what he saw in the future. Now, what's interesting is the Horsemen consist of Xavier, Mystique, Storm, and Magneto, opposite of the whole sort of Archangel thing, which Angel did appear, but it was never the Archangel persona. Now, looking at the series, it was pretty great. Not only was it a great series, we also got X-23 as a comic book character now, and this show has done amazingly well. Now, there are some characters that I don't like. It's mainly Spike's character. Reason why, it just feels like with his character, it's everyone else's fault and not his own. And also Duncan Matthews, who's kind of like Brian in that film or book, The Lovely Bones, as an arrogant dick. And also, what's also great about it, well, the other good sides was that we also got to see Captain America, confirming that the Avengers might have existed in this continuity. Plus, what was also great about it, it lasted a long time for 3 years. Now, thumbs up, Comic Review here, signing out.